Hello and namaste. Parents having children between age group 12 years to 16 years and wanting to develop wealthy money habits and healthy relationships with money in their children. Kind attention. This video is for you. I hope you have watched the three brief videos before, which had level 1, 2, and 3 of learning. And now we have come to level 4. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what your children are going to learn and how they are going to become money wise, how they are going to become intelligent in their spending, how they are going to understand to invest, to save for their future needs, etc., etc. So let me begin with what chapters are included in this level. This level 4 talks about the first chapter, which is rich, poor, and middle class. A very interesting concept, which many parents find it very difficult to explain. Now, when we talk about differentiating between rich, poor, and middle class, can it be with relation to just attitude instead of money, or with relation to money as well as attitude? Both. How about explaining rich, middle class, and poor in relation to needs and desires, and not just in related to how much money one person is earning or how much money one person is spending? Now, that's something intelligent which we deal in this chapter with the students. Chapter number 2 is about Aadhaar card. Remember, we learned about donation in the previous lessons, and this is what the children started learning about sharing. And now the government's role in supporting the underprivileged is why you need an Aadhaar card, who all around us don't have an Aadhaar card, how to apply for an Aadhaar card. These are the things which are included in this chapter. This is chapter number 2. And then we go to chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 is about sources of income for traders. Yeah, we discussed about salary in level 1, 2. Then we discussed about various income sources in the family. Now we are talking about from the entrepreneurship angle. Yes, we're talking about traders. And what do you mean by trades which have just a single product or a single brand, or trades with multiple product and multiple brands? And what are the advantages and disadvantages of each type of business? Now, why do we discuss this? A very important reason to discuss this is the child starts thinking from the entrepreneurship angle. And that's what we want our children to do, right? As per the rich dad, poor dad quadrant, we want our children to be rich. And to be rich, they have to just not think from the employee mindset, but they have to think from a big business and the investment mindset, right? And that's something which we have started doing as a foundation in chapter number 3 in this level. Chapter number 4 is about selling and buying used and unused things. Now the question comes is, इसमें बड़ी बात क्या है? Right? Go to an app and put it up. But why to sell unused things? Why to buy unused things, which we, or second-hand things which we have used sometimes? When to buy unused and when to buy used? These are questions which are traditionally not answered by parents. Many parents would like to buy everything unused that is new. But is there an advantage in buying used things in certain type? Or should we never buy used things? Or what kind of a used thing should we buy? Or what kind of a things which we do not use we can sell or rent or donate or scrap? All this is discussed in chapter number 4. Interesting thought, isn't it? Let's go to chapter number 5. This talks about working part-time. Now, the concept of earning has already been developed in the first 3 levels. Now we are going into the ways of doing it. Now, working in a family business or business from home or working part-time, these are 3 different ways of earning which we discuss in this chapter, and the advantages and disadvantages of each of its type. Yes, the children would be able to understand. Don't worry about it. They are already teens. They should start thinking about earning, because then they would connect learning to earning. Don't worry about that. They would directly get into earning and they would forget learning. That is something which we will take care in our new and further chapters as well. Let's look at chapter number 6. That's banking systems. So why do we need banks? And what exactly does a saving account and a current account provide? Do I need a saving account and when do I get a current account and how do I use them? These are those basic fundamentals which we discuss in this chapter. Finally, we go to needs versus desires. So in the first 3 chapters, we talked about need and desires and a few basic elements of it. Now we get into differentiating items and prioritizing the purchase based on need or based on desire and what to purchase and when to purchase. Now, these are those 7 chapters which the child would study. I would rather say the teen would study now. And what are the outcomes out of this? What all would the children do based on this learning? Very important elements, right? So we're going to discuss 5 such things which the child is going to do about it. Point number 1, the child is going to create family's needs and desires list based on rich class, poor class, and middle class. Interesting, isn't it? And then he is really going to look at it. What are the needs of the rich class? And are those needs the same in middle and the poor class, or are they different? And where do they fall? Where does my family fall in? And how do I really manage it? Now that's activity number 1, which we are going to do with your children. Activity number 2 includes they would actually hands-on go with you and practice opening a self-saving account or depositing cash or depositing check in the bank. Are you ready to do that with your children? If you help your children with you, if you take your children along with you to the bank, it would help them get practical exposure of the banking system. That's activity number 2, which they have to do and come back and write an experience about it and share it in the class. Activity number 3, research, differentiate, and present between various types of trades based on brands and products. Now, this is something which they're going to actually do a research on the internet or actually moving around in the society, not the housing society, but the place where you live, to see what are different types of trades. Are they single product? Are they multi-product? Are they single brand, multi-brand? And try and make a comparison of it and maybe interview a few people and discuss and understand and create a report and present it in the class. Interesting. Let's go to the next one. The fourth one is something which they do in the house, which we discussed about the used and the unused item. Now they would actually prepare a plan and list all unused items at home, which either could be sold or rented or donated or scrapped. Yeah, they would actually go around the house searching which are the items which you have not used for the last 1 month, maybe last 6 months, maybe last 1 year. And do we really want to keep it or do we have an option to move it? That's activity number 4. And don't worry, they'll do it with your permission. They're going to discuss it with the parents about this. Activity number 5 is now preparing a shopping list based on the discussion within the family members and categorized as per needs and desires. So now the shopping list work is out from your responsibility. It is the child's responsibility. The child would create a shopping list month on month and would discuss with the family members what they need and what is their desire. And then they would categorize and prioritize and say, okay, this is what we should buy. Yeah, they have not learned the budget as of now. That they will learn the next level. But till here, they would do these 5 activities. How did you like them? Interesting, isn't it? Want your children to participate with you in planning your monthly expenses, in discussing with you about money related stuff? If yes, then enroll them for this module. And while you're thinking, let me go and prepare the video for the next item, which I want to tell you. That is level number 5. Till then, thank you and dhanyavad.